Hello and welcome to our Scribe Insight presentation. Today we will be featuring our integration between Dynamics CRM and Dynamics GP. My name is Rich Rodacey and I am a sales engineer here at Scribe Software. And at the end of today's demonstration you should have a better idea as to how Scribe Insight can be very valuable and instrumental in helping companies achieve greater return on their existing application investments by using the Scribe Insight platform to support both their migration and integration strategies. Let's begin this presentation by taking a look at the Scribe Insight overview architecture. As you can see here on this slide, it all begins with the Scribe server. Whether your requirements are to do a simple migration or robust integrations or anything in between, it's the Scribe Insight server that does all the work for you. Resides on-premise within a Windows OS, and when you lay down the bits for our product, you're provided with two programs. You have the Workbench as well as the Scribe console. The Workbench is typically where a designer would create the data maps, validate that they are going to produce the results they would expect, and then run them from there if they care to do so. However, a lot of the companies and a lot of customers that use the product choose to use the Scribe console to leverage the automation features and all the management parameters that they can use to run those Workbench maps transparently, unattended. We also provide a portfolio, I would say, of about a dozen or so technology adapters. These are ODBC based. In addition to those, we provide the Scribe purpose-built application adapters that leverages the APIs of those enterprise applications that it connects into. In today's example, I'll be sharing with you both the Dynamics GP as well as Dynamics CRM application adapters. So that's kind of like the lay of the land with regards to the architecture of Scribe Insight. What I want to do is I want to take you through a couple use case scenarios today to kind of share with you how these components come together to provide this migration and or integration strategy. So let's begin by taking a look at our first use case here. And I have two of them planned for you today. The first here being lead integration into Dynamics CRM. So the whole notion here within this first part of a two-part use case demonstration is we're capturing web leads from our web portal. And we want to move those automatically directly into Dynamics CRM. From there, the sales rep can work those and hopefully convert those into a customer or into an account within Dynamics CRM. As you can see on this slide, the touch points that we'll be dealing with today would be account, address, contact, activity, and opportunity within Dynamics CRM. So we'll pull that data from the XML generated lead and move that directly into CRM and maintaining the relationships between the account as well as the contact and the associated activities. So that would be the first part of this dual use case demonstration. The second part is going to be on the CRM GP side. So this is going to be the integration between those two endpoint applications. So the idea here is that once that lead has been converted into an account and that account now has a relationship type of customer, the Scribe Insight application will then pick up that record and then synchronize that into the back office. At that point, the financial verification, financial assignment in terms of creditworthiness will be determined by the ERP user. Once that has been established, then we can fulfill an order within CRM and see that flow between CRM and Dynamics GP. Within the solution template that I'll be sharing with you today, as you can see, these will be the touch points. You can see account to customer, you can see address to address on CRM to ERP side. Products will be moved in a single direction from GP up into Dynamics CRM because the GP is usually the master of that data. Sales transactions and amounts will be flowing in both directions. And then the invoicing typically will flow from GP back up into Dynamics CRM. So that's the solution template. In fact, the usage scenario that you'll see with respect to this piece of that two-phase demonstration is available as a free download from our website. That solution template will give you this functionality. You can choose to use it in its entirety, add to it, subtract from it. You don't have to be a programmer to use this product. So this next slide here is kind of like an overall slide. It's like a bird's eye view, if you will, of the use case scenarios that I'm going to share with you today. So the idea once again here is to capture web leads from our website, bring those web leads as a transaction into our Dynamics CRM deployment unattended. Basically, as they get generated, we'll pick those up and move those directly into CRM, maintaining relationships as that data flows forward. At that point, we'll do the appropriate converting those into an account, changing the relationship type. Then that will then be synchronized into the back office Dynamics GP. At point which the ERP user will give those new accounts some credit worthiness. They'll set the amount within Dynamics GP. Once that is set, then we'll be able to create an order in CRM and integrate that into the back office. Okay, so what I'd like now to do is take you through that process, and you can see it from an application perspective. Let me go ahead and open that up for you. There we go. So here, what we're going to start with is the web lead. So this is the idea of capturing that web lead that happens in near real time and making that available into the CRM deployment. I've already filled out this active form, and you can see that I have the personal information for this particular account, Alexander, email address, phone number, all that relevant information that would be of importance to me as a CRM user. Have the company information, Ace Enterprises, the demographic information about where that customer resides. And then down below, their special interests with regards to Scribe software. In this case, they've chosen Scribe Insight, the product. They're very interested in that, as well as the training for the product, and also the potential to become a reseller for Scribe software. Now, before I click on the Submit button, as you can see down here at the bottom left of the screen, what I want to do is I want to go into Dynamics CRM, and I want to go ahead and take a look at the leads that we have here. So I'm going to change to the leads page here, and you can see my open leads, nothing appears. So let's go back into the lead form. Let's now submit this. So what we've just done was we've taken all that data that was filled in that form, we've generated an XML transaction out of that, and that's all form functionality. That transaction is then picked up by one of our integration processes, and the results of that will be moved directly into CRM as a brand new lead. So let's take a look at CRM once again. I'm going to refresh this screen. And here you can see we now have Alexander as an open lead within my deployment of Dynamics CRM. At this point, as the CRM user, I can certainly come into the lead information. I can take a look at it. I can see where I have all that general information that was pulled from the form. We've actually done some concatenation and strung some data together to build out a description here within the form as well. So with everything in place, I mean, I can, at this point, I can go ahead and qualify this. One other thing I'll share with you are the activities that we've pulled across as well. So we not only created the lead, we also associated this activity, which in this case is an email activity. All right? Now, let's go through the process of qualifying this. This is all Dynamics CRM functionality, but we're going to go through this process just to show you that we want to convert this into an appropriate account here in Dynamics CRM. So I'm going to qualify it. I'm going to say this is now an account within our deployment of CRM. We'll go ahead and close that. And now you can see it has disappeared from my Open Leads page. However, if I go into Accounts, here I will now see that we have a new Alex, let's see, where is that? Let me just refresh that one more time. Ace Enterprises. There is our account. There is the relevant information about the email, the phone numbers, the fax numbers. If I scroll down, you can see there's the street address, the demographic information, all that. Once again, the concatenation of multiple fields within my source data, which, by the way, was that XML component that we've consumed, and we've built out that string there. So all that data from the lead has now been transposed here into Dynamics CRM as a brand new account. Now, like I said, this account is living in Dynamics CRM, however, has not moved into my back office at this point. And that is because this account does not have a relationship type set at this point. So Scribe Insight, our product, will not pick this up and integrate that into the back office. So what we need to do here is we have to go down into the relationship type form and go ahead and select customer. And once I do that and we save and close this, this is now the trigger for Scribe Insight to pick up that record from Dynamics CRM, consume it, move its appropriate data into the back office as a new customer within Dynamics GP. So let's go ahead into Dynamics GP. And I'm going to go ahead and click on, under the cards section here in GP, click on customers. And what we'll do is we'll look for a new account called Ace Enterprises. And as you can see, it's the third one in the list here. So if I select that, we'll open up the detail. Once again, pull the relevant information over here into Dynamics GP as well. Now again, this account or this customer within Dynamics GP does not have any financial status set against it. So what we want to do is let's go into the options and let's set the credit limit for this particular account. I'm going to be very generous, so I'm going to go ahead and set this to unlimited. We'll now go ahead and click on OK, and we'll save this. Now with that in place, we now can create an order in Dynamics CRM, which would then flow into the back office. If we did not do that, any orders that we would create in Dynamics CRM, Scribe Insight would reject that, because the first thing that it does, it makes sure that the account exists. Number two is the credit at a level where this order is going to be underneath that credit limit. Okay. So at this point, everything is in place. All the pieces and parts have come together from a business use case perspective to allow us now to create that order in Dynamics CRM. So that's what I'd like to do now. Let's go into CRM, and let's go into Ace Enterprise, and let's go through the process of creating a brand new order. This is, again, all Dynamics CRM functionality. I'm not doing anything special here. So I'm going to go through the order process. We're going to add a new order. And we need to fill out some required fields here. In this particular case, I need to fill in name as well as price list. You can see the little red asterisks there. So let's go ahead and call this order from CRM. The price list here I'm going to pick is going to be the retail price list. In fact, every list that you see here within this form here has been synchronized from Dynamics GP and made available up here in CRM. That is part of that solution template that you can download from our website. All right, so we've got the retail price list selected. You'll notice order ID here is a required field. It's not filled in. I can't affect that at this point. It's read only. The only way that I can have that field filled in is by clicking on Save, and Dynamics CRM will go ahead and assign a unique ID. With that in place, we basically have a shell of an order. No product has been added at this point. Let's now click on Products. Let's add a new product. And once again, we'll pick from our product catalog. This has also been synchronized from GP and made available here in Dynamics CRM. I'm going to choose the, let's say, the 17-inch monitor. The unit of measure here is going to be each, another required field. And the quantity for today will be a quantity of 1. Okay, let's now save and close this. And there's my order, the 17-inch monitor, still sitting here in CRM. Scribe Insight is not doing anything at this point. So now what we want to do is we want to come to the Orders tab, and we want to submit this order. So let's go ahead and click on the Submit button. Now what happens is Scribe Insight sees that we now have an order in Dynamics CRM that has a status of submitted. It will now pick up that transaction, consume it, and move it into the back office as a new order within Dynamics GP. Let's go ahead and close this down. And let's move over into Dynamics GP and see if our new order has arrived. So here we're back in Dynamics GP. Let's go into Sales Transaction Entry. And we want to take a look at the transaction type of orders. So let me go ahead and select that. The document number. You can see a whole list of document numbers here. We want to go ahead and sort on the date. And then we'll scroll down and we'll look for an order that has entered on today's date, which is 6/14/2012. Let's go ahead and select that. And you can see now there's our header information for our new account, which is called Ace Enterprises. The today's date, SOP order. The line item detail for this particular order from CRM is the 17-inch monitor, includes the quantity as well as the unit price totaled up here down at the bottom as well. Now, to show you the power of the integration capabilities of Scribe Insight between these disparate applications, let's go ahead and add another component. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to add a scanner. And go ahead and click over here. We can see now the value is incremented, another $69.95. So our new total down at the bottom here is $269.90. Now this is a fast selling item, so we may be out of stock on this, but I'm going to go ahead and click on the freight, and I'm going to go ahead and override that for this point. I know that I'm going to be getting more inventory, so that will certainly be satisfied. All right, so for freight, we'll put in, let's say, $13.85 as an example. I think well, we got $1.83 there. It's not really what I wanted, but let's go ahead and put in $13.78 as an example. Well, that's not what I wanted either. Let's try that one more time. Let's put in $15, something straightforward. Keyboard is acting rather bizarre here. There we go. Just going to put in $20. All right, and you can see our total now increments up to $289.90. So with that in place, let's go ahead and save this. We'll close this out. And now what's happening, very similar to what happened in Dynamics CRM, is we are capturing this net change event that just happened, which is an update to a sales order, creating a transaction out of that, where we will then pick it up, consume it, and move it in the reverse direction back up into Dynamics CRM. So all we did here was add the scanner, and we added some text, or some tax. I'm sorry, some freight. So let's now go back into Dynamics CRM. Let's go find ACE Enterprise. And we'll take a look at the orders that we have within this deployment. So let's go ahead and click on Orders. And I'm just going to click on Submitted Orders. And you can see we now have an order within Dynamics CRM. It's order number 2401. If you recall that I actually called that order from CRM. However, when the integration happened, we actually pulled back the order number that was generated in GP and substituted out with this new number. So now we've got two disparate applications with the same record number, so there could be easy reference between the two endpoints. All right, let's go ahead and open up the order. We can take a look at the detail. And you can see over here, if I click on Products, we have the 17-inch monitor, we have the scanner. All that's in place based on the updates, the changes that we made within our GP back office. Now, let's take it one step further. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go back into GP, and I'm going to invoice that order. So we're going to go back into Sales Transaction Entry, pull that order back up, and we're going to once again sort on the date column. We're going to find that order on today's date, and there it is, 6/14. And let's go ahead and now invoice this. So up here at the very top, we're going to click on Actions. We're going to transfer this to an invoice. And we're just going to go ahead and print it to the screen so we can see if we have been successful. And you can see we've created a new invoice here called Standard Invoice 2268. So we are good to go. I'm going to go ahead and save this, close this out. We'll go back into Dynamics CRM. And let's go ahead and find ACE Enterprise once again. And let's see if we now have new invoices against this new account. So we'll just slide down. We'll click on Invoices. I can see I have an invoice. Let's open it up. And we'll look at the products. And we can see there's the 17-inch monitor, there's the scanner, and there's that invoice number that was generated within our back office Dynamics GP. So what you saw there was a twofold process in terms of the use case. We captured a web lead, a raw web lead from our website. We've nurtured that web lead within Dynamics CRM. We created the account out of it. We've converted the account relationship type into customer. At that point, Scribe Insight picked it up. It now flowed into the back office, at which point we added a credit limit to it. then we could add a brand new order within CRM, which would then synchronize and integrate in with the back office. And then at that point, we did the order to invoicing. So that's kind of the usage scenario I want to share with you. Let you know that Scribe Insight is doing all that heavy lifting behind the scenes. From an application perspective, users do what they do best. They work in these applications, knowing that Scribe Insight is there to do that heavy lifting. All right, so let me go back to my PowerPoint presentation and finish up here with a couple slides here. As you can see here, this is our adaptability slide. This is kind of just showing you the many different endpoints that Scribe Insight can connect into. We are not just a point-to-point solution. We're focusing today on GP and CRM with regards to an integration, but understand we do more than just that. And here is the adaptability slide that shows you our breadth of reach in terms of these other endpoints that may be of strategic value to you. That may not be for you today, but as time goes on, you may find out that, I do have to connect into a MySQL database, or I need to pick up these XLS spreadsheets and I like to move those into my, my organization. So, moving forward, you certainly have the extensibility to be able to reach out into these other applications. Okay, so at this point I'd like to say thank you very much for your time and your attention. I hope this has been of value to you. If you do have any questions about this video that you've seen today, certainly make mention of it. You can reach us at demos@scribesoft.com. Please refer to the demonstration that you were watching when you do submit your questions, should you have any. Our website, as you can see, is scribesoft.com, and our phone number is 603-622-5109. Thank you once again.